You got some exciting news to share. Coming on board with Kaulig Racing here in a couple weeks for the Chicago Street Race. How are you preparing for your return to NASCAR? And I guess, what are you most looking forward to about this event?
It's awesome to be coming back over stateside. Also be competing with Kaulig. I did Sonoma last year, but Chicago's probably the one I've always wanted to do after watching Shane compete there. I think that was 2022. So to lock the deal away and to be coming over and racing in that event is definitely exciting and something I'm looking forward to.
Awesome. Well, we'll move into questions from the media now. Just a reminder, if you have a question for Will, please raise your hand within the Zoom platform, and we'll get to as many questions as we can. We'll start with John Newby. Go ahead, John.
Thank you. So, Will, I just have two quick questions for you. First off, with the electrical gremlins that you dealt with last year at Sonoma, it'd be easy to get frustrated, but I mean, what made you want to come back and just attempt this again?
Yeah, last year was a little bit disappointing with the electrical gremlins, but I think it makes me want to come back more. To be honest, we didn't probably get the result we wanted last year, and I think Chicago is an event a lot of drivers want to do, especially a lot of drivers here in Australia. It's something that we do, a lot. Street courses is one of our biggest events over here. We do a lot of them a year. So when it popped on the calendar and Shane won that event, it was something that a lot of us wanted to come over and do. So to put a deal together to come and race that event this year, I'm just looking forward to giving it a go and getting out on the track.
And then you also touched on this a second ago, but you mentioned, Chicago is, I guess, more preferable to Sonoma. Is that just because you're so comfortable with having, the walls inches from where you're racing as opposed to Sonoma with its runoff areas with the dirt?
Yeah, we do. Both courses are very similar to what we do here in Australia, but we do about 5 street courses a year that are very tight, like Chicago is. We've got Gold Coast, which is something that's a really tough circuit, very similar to Chicago. So something that I feel comfortable in. It's still very easy to make a mistake around those circuits, but definitely, I definitely feel comfortable on a track like that.
Perfect. Thank you.
We'll go next to Jacob Seelman. Go ahead, Jacob.
Thanks, Sam, and Will, congratulations on the opportunity. Couple from me. First, have you had a chance to talk to Shane yet with the announcement now being out there, or had you maybe picked his brain in advance of the announcement being out there?
Yeah, I haven't actually spoken to him yet so much around Chicago and what to expect there, and if there's any little pointers he can give me. But I do talk to Shane a little bit, so I will be trying to pick his brain between now and Chicago. I was lucky enough to meet Kyle while I was over there last, and so I'll try and get on to him again and see if there's any pointers he can give me. If they'll give me the right ones, who knows? But I'll have a chat to those guys and try and prepare as best I can.
I know in the release it talked a lot about a lot of your partners from Australia coming and supporting this venture for you. Was this something that the partners were maybe pushing for? Was this something that was on your mind, that you approached them as something you were wanting to do and they were all for it?
Yeah, I've got a lot of great partners here in Australia. So for myself, it's probably something that they knew I've wanted to do ever since doing Sonoma last year. And the plan was after competing last year at Sonoma was to try and put a deal together to come over and race in one event this year. We were hoping it'd be Chicago, but weren't quite sure at the time. But a lot of those guys are very keen to be involved. They've probably supported me, most of them, since I first started out in, supercars or racing. So, yeah, to have Sean Partners, a massive supporter of mine, sponsor, and also Mobile X come back on board. It's been great to have those guys. I wouldn't be able to do it again without them. So, it's been fantastic.
Just the one race for now, but having seen kind of Shane start to make this transition, you've got a Supercars championship already. Is maybe a jump this direction something that you've thought about or something that you'd like to think about for your future at some point, or is it too soon to say?
I think it's too soon to say. I'm sort of pretty comfortable here in Australia. I actually took Shane's seat when he left, so I was very glad he went stateside. I was happy to see him go, but I've got a great team here around me at Red Bull Ampol. So you never know until the offer got put in front of you if there ever was the opportunity. But right now, for me, it's kind of scratching an itch. It's going over there, competing against some of the best in the world, seeing how I fare up against them, and trying to do the Aussies proud. But yeah, I wouldn't know until if that ever came about.
That's fair. Really appreciate you taking the time. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll go next to Kelly Crandall. Go ahead, Kelly.
Thanks, Sam. Hey, Will, two things. You came over last year, as you said, you tried this out, and the list is getting long of Supercars drivers that we're now seeing come to NASCAR over the last couple of years, right?
Yeah.
The assumption is the car, it has made that much more attractive to you all. Is that the case? Is it similar enough to the Supercars that's the reason why we're seeing this influx?
Yeah, I'm not sure if see, we're all coming over and doing street course. None of us are doing. We're all cheating. None of us are doing an oval. We're all very keen on Chicago, but I wouldn't say it's so much the car, to be honest. The car's probably not the reason. Even if it was more different, I race in GT cars or open wheel or that sort of stuff. It wouldn't bother me so much. It's more about I guess the history of NASCAR, all the guys racing in it, the competitiveness. It's probably even the racing similar to what we do. So, yeah, I think the cars have got more similar after I went over there last year and competed, and also our new Gen 3 cars over here. The cars are similar, so it's not too big of, you don't have to adapt too much. So it probably isn't a bit of an advantage there.
All right, so along those same lines, is this now something that is talked about amongst all of you in the paddock of who's going to be next, who's going to go try it, who wants to do it?
Yeah, I think, to be honest, it was very big straight after Shane won Chicago. A lot of people wanted to get over there and do it, and you saw my old teammate Brody Kostecki went over, and Cam Waters. I would say this year it's probably more myself and Cam that have been pushing really hard to try and get over here, just to get the support behind you, the sponsors behind you, and make the whole program work logistically and all of that with our events here in Australia. It's not easy to put it together. So, I think a lot of guys would want to do it, but putting it together is another thing.
Dang.
We'll go next to Matt Weaver. Go ahead, Matt.
Yeah, thank you for the time, Will. I'm curious, when you guys are watching, what Shane's doing this year, or just watching NASCAR racing in general, obviously it's very oval heavy. And obviously Shane has taken a while to adapt to the oval part of it too. Are you guys kind of watching that and recognizing, hey, not that you guys said, hey, that's easy before, but does it give you guys a greater appreciation for how challenging the oval portion of the NASCAR schedule is, seeing a great like Shane kind of struggle with it?
Yeah, 100%. I think it's shown how competitive those guys are over there, and also how difficult the ovals are. There's a lot to learn on them. I've been watching nearly every race. It's a Monday morning here each time for us, so I watch it most Monday mornings. But it obviously is extremely difficult. It's been interesting watching Shane. He had some really good runs last year and looked very competitive, and then this year, probably he's having a bit more of a tough time. But it's great to see him run well on the weekend. So the Coca-Cola 600. So hopefully he picks it up and can get more competitive on the ovals. But it's not. I think it's just one of those things. We've done road course racing since we were kids in go-karts and all of that sort of stuff. So it's what we're used to, and I guess that's what a lot of the drivers do over there. They compete in ovals, so it's hard to just get up to scratch within a year, I think, and start battling with those guys.
And then, kind of on a similar note, how do you balance the desire to go do something that's familiar, like Sonoma and certainly Chicago, between also looking at maybe an opportunity to run an oval? Because if you want the true traditional NASCAR experience, you go oval racing. So, like, you kind of have to weigh, hey, do something that I'm good at and can be competitive in, versus getting the real experience, but you're not going to be as immediately competitive?
I think the biggest thing for us, realistically, it comes down to sponsors and support. And, hopefully for myself, if I can have a good run at Chicago, potentially, my sponsors and hopefully someone else will back me into maybe doing like an Xfinity or a truck oval. But it's very hard to get the support and sponsors to go and run an oval straight away, because we probably are going to struggle the first one. So, just to get that sponsorship on is probably the difficult part.
Thank you for the time.
Thank you.
We'll go back to John Newby. Go ahead, John.
Thank you. So, Will, I know this topic has come up on the Drivers Only podcast a bunch, just how the two different schedules don't usually align, and how much of a logistical headache is that trying to put these deals together, seeing where the different rounds of your season lines up with the NASCAR rounds?
Yeah, we were trying to push Supercars last year before the calendar came out to make sure that that Chicago isn't a clash. It has been the last 2 years. It's been a clash with our Townsville Street Circuit race. So when I saw that came out, that it wasn't a clash, it was something straight away. Sorry, that we jumped on and looked that we could do Chicago, and how do we make that deal come about? So getting over there to Charlotte and preparing is not too bad. I fly out after one of our events here at Darwin. I'll get a week and a half over in America to sort of prepare, hopefully jump on the GM simulator and do a bit of prep with the team. But coming back's probably the problem for us. I take off straight after the race, or probably Monday morning straight after the race, and I get back in Wednesday, and we're heading up to Townsville Thursday for our next event. So I'll probably have one day. It's just making sure there's no flight delays and all of that sort of stuff. But it won't be a lot of recovery between the two events.
Gotcha. And then just to clarify something you said a second ago, was Supercars, were they, I guess, accommodating to like drivers' desires to kind of branch out? I mean, is there a line of communication between the drivers and Supercars itself?
Yeah, well, for myself, I get along very well with the guys at Supercars, and they're actually supporting and sponsoring my endeavor, I guess, or to come over there and compete. So they've been very supportive of it, and I think they want us to go over and show what supercar drivers are capable of, and also hope that some of your fans over there, watch our racing and see how competitive it is over here. So it's great to have that alliance with them, and great for them to be supporting me.
Perfect. Thank you for clarifying.
All right, we'll go back to Jacob Seelman. Go ahead, Jacob.
Well, I'm curious. You join a team for this Chicago Street Race that finished second to Shane in that inaugural one. You watched Shane win the first one. Does that let you kind of mentally have the confidence to set the bar a little higher for yourself going into this? Do you know or do you really know what your expectations can be until you get over here and have some simulator time in advance to see what you're feeling?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I haven't put too many expectations on it just yet. We obviously saw what Shane did. We've seen what he does on road courses and how competitive he is. And I had a good run at Sonoma in practice before we had those problems go wrong. So I think we can be very competitive. Not going over there saying, yeah, we're going to win this thing. I'd love to, but going over there to be as competitive as we can. Hopefully we can run up the front. We'll just wait and see what happens, really.
All right, mate. Cheers. Appreciate it.
Thank you.